Welcome to the book club, and today was Matt's pick. It was Superman 242. So, oops, and we'll do it just like this. There you go, Matt.
Before I check the book, I'm just going to give a quick background to the story that got us to where we are here. It begins in this issue.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. If you'll remember in this issue, for those that have read it and those that haven't read it, all kryptonite is turned into iron because of a big explosion. Well, what happened? That explosion also broke a dimensional rift. Okay. And what happened was a couple of creatures from this other dimension came through and they're formless. But what happens is they end up taking the form of the first being they encounter. So in this case, there were two that came through. The first one and the main one, the first being he came across was Superman. But unfortunately, the only material that was around to make him into Superman was sand. Therefore, he became the Sand Superman. And the Sand Superman is on the cover. Okay? The second one, I bring it up because basically also what happens is this creature sucks the powers away from Superman whenever he's near him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's quick, but not so quick. So like they have to be together for a while to fully complete the job. And the reason I bring it up is because, like, okay, as I said, they suck the power out. A second thing comes through, and it is the thing that is at the beginning of the story. The first form it came across was a paper mache character made for a Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he looks like this. At this point in the story, Superman is powerless because this creature has taken away what was left of his power. At this moment, the Sandman Superman has 1/3 of his power. This creature has 2/3. So that is where we're at the beginning. The last thing that happened in the last book was that this creature encounters these two bums.
Mm-hmm.
And these bums are able to convince him that he's there to smash and destroy things, as is done on these pages here. Okay? And in this case, like, sure, we go around, we do things. They okay? At the end of the last one, they managed to beat the crap out of Superman. And because Superman is now powerless, because all his powers have been absorbed by this creature. So the two bums take advantage and beat the crap out of Superman. Well, the bums leave. The hobos, bums, whatever you want to call them, leave. And Jimmy Olsen discovers Superman in this junkyard and gets him to go in an ambulance. Now, part of the storyline earlier had that when Superman was first powerless from the Sandman guy, the Sandman guy beat the crap out of him enough that he ended up with brain damage. He then became super again because he absorbed some of his powers back, and that brain damage became semi-permanent. That brain damage is referenced in this story because now he's powerless. The doctors notice he's brain damaged, and they're able to operate. Here you see, though, the hobos are going around with the big creature. And all of a sudden, as he's breaking up a bank, the Sandman Superman shows up. The Sandman Superman realizes not only is he absorbing Superman's power, he's absorbing Superman's heroism. So he's like, why am I doing this? He feels the need to stop crime, help people. And sure enough, he beats the crap out of the guy, and they get away. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Diana Prince and I Ching are with Jimmy Olsen because I Ching has been helping Superman through this whole thing in this story. And Diana hanging out with them has been there. That's why they're there. And here's the doctors explaining what they can do. about the brain damage. Meanwhile, the two bums discover that Superman is in the hospital, and they try to convince the guy, their little pawn, that they should go and kill him while they got the chance, while he's powerless. Well, the thing backfires on the two hobos because the thing realizes he doesn't need them, and he kills them, squishes the life out of them in front of the hospital. Meanwhile, while Superman is in recovery at this point, the nurses are panicking because all of a sudden his vitals are changing. And the reason is, as the creature gets closer, Superman is starting to absorb some of his powers back.
So why
And
is that? I didn't get why that happened per se.
It's the explanation is that when these creatures come in power, in contact with something super like Superman, the energy it's drawn to them
Yeah, they
until
say
they
it
are
flows
equal.
between the two of them, but I didn't get
Yes, and
why
it keeps
flows
flowing
back.
until they reach an equilibrium.
Okay.
So at the moment, that's why I said 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And sure enough, because the creature breaks through, Wonder Woman and I Ching and Jimmy, are all trying to be tough, trying to protect their friend. And then when he
felt really
grabs,
bad for Wonder Woman in this one, by the way.
sorry,
I felt
what?
bad for Wonder Woman in this.
Yeah, she didn't do much.
She's kind of lame. She has no powers. She's weak.
But as you can see on these pages, that he's getting picked up by the creature, and you see the determination because his powers are coming back. Well, what happens is, as they take the fight outside, the Sand Superman joins them, and the two of them team up to defeat the other guy and manage to get him back to where the rift opened, and have the character go back, leaving the Chinese paper mache doll lifeless.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Superman finally is able to confront the Sand Superman. He's been trying to confront him for like 6 issues at this point. They always seem to absorb. One goes one way, one goes the other, and so this is the first time they actually get a chance to talk. And the Sand Superman says, "I want to live. I want to be me. I want to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And since we both can't be on the planet, we need to fight." So sure enough, on the next page, they get ready. But they have already discovered in earlier issues they cannot touch each other because it's like it's negative. It's considered antimatter
versus matter. Yeah, no.
Okay. So I Ching comes up and says, "I've got the power to make you guys, able to touch each other." So he does that. And then the big brawl starts. Boom, 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 boom. They're fighting each other. That's where the cover comes in. Okay. And they keep fighting and they end up in space. But they're also, unfortunately, their fights lead to effects on Earth. Volcanoes, earthquakes.
Well, it didn't help that they went through the Earth core.
Yeah, it didn't help that they went through the core. Excuse me, guys. So the next thing, they're up in space and they're fighting. And that's when he looks down and realizes the Earth is destroyed. That their fight has destroyed the planet. And then you get the thing where I Ching tells them, "I didn't actually do anything. I just hypnotized you guys to think you were fighting." And this is what would happen. The Sand Superman feels it too, and so he willingly goes back to his own dimension. And Superman, I Ching says, "I can give you your powers back." Superman says, "No, I know what it's like now to have too much power. I don't want it." And the Sand Superman goes home. And that is the end of a story that went like 8 issues. And
so basically, at the end of this, Superman has 2/3 of his previous power.
has 2/3 of his original power.
Yeah.
This was an attempt by DC, starting with this. Okay, starting with that issue, this was an attempt by DC to make Superman less powerful in order so that he'd be, easier beaten, have better things. This whole story was written by Dennis O'Neil, Neil Adams did all of the covers for it. Kurt Swan did all the interior art with Murphy Anderson. But the whole point of this was that they were trying to make him less powerful. And unfortunately, that didn't last. He was moving planets again within 6 months.
Oh, well.
But they tried, okay? Part of that was because Denny O'Neil went off the book, and the next writer was like, fuck it, I'm bringing it back. You know, we're going back to the real Superman. Which is too bad because this particular Superman story sold very well. And it was one of the reasons why they put the number 1 on this book was they were trying to make a brand new store, brand
and
new.
And that book cost you $9 million, was it?
Yes, you were with me. But anyways, this is the book that's the climax. And the reason I wanted to do this story is for you guys love the death. You cut your teeth on Death of Superman. Well, when I was 8 years old, I cut my teeth on this storyline. And this storyline, like I have them all. I have all 8 books. Mm-hmm. And the storyline is so cool because you watch as all the bits happen, you know, you see Superman get the brain damage and then he get, you know, there's an issue in this series where it's like Superman screwing up is the headline and he's like, they don't love me anymore. That's where he has brain damage and he can't quite think properly and stuff. It's really cool actually how they handle that. So I'll get into my scores now. The cover. I love it. It's Superman fighting Superman by one of my favorite artists. I give this a 4.
Okay.
On the cover. The interior art is Kurt Swan. So right off the bat, you know, I love it. So the interior art, I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Denny O'Neil, I wish he had written Superman for longer because I really enjoyed this story. I really liked it a lot. I'm going to give his writing because there are still some holes. Wonder Woman was weak and almost unnecessary.
No, that makes sense. She was weak at that time.
Yes, I get that, but I mean, like, it's only because she brought I Ching. If you read the whole story, you'd say, well, I know this guy. She brings I Ching and comes with him. That's her whole role. I give it a 3.75. But overall, the book is better than its parts, and I give the book, it's a bit nostalgic, but I give the book a 4.5.
All right, I'm gonna drop a leg for Patel. Thank you for your super chat. Patel says, Matt, I hope you shoveled the snow before coming.
I have a teenage son that does that.
All right. Well, the snow was shoveled, so good on you.
Big Biggie. Biggie. Biggie.
Yeah, Patel's getting in there.
And I am going to ask my good friend Biggie to go next.
Oh, shit. I never get picked early. Oh, wow. All right. Fair enough.
Toweling, so
I'll total this while you go.
Yeah, thank you. All right. It was a fun story. The hobos got the power, the guy, and use him as like a little robot or whatever. And battle, I like action. There was quite a bit of destruction and some cool little action stuff going on in there. Was it like one of the best comics I ever read? Nah, not too much. Did it have talented people working on it? Yeah, the cover was pretty good. Yeah, I'll just go. I don't know what much to say. I'm just going to give my scores. If I liked anything, I did like the hobos. I thought that was kind of cute. So I'm gonna give the cover a 3.5. 3.5. It's better than average. It's done well.
Well, I'm just gonna say this about the hobos. The reason they're there was Superman was in the process of arresting them when this big guy showed up and
I was wondering why the hobos hated him so much.
That's why. So they were in the process. They're muggers, whatever you want to call it, doing things. You know, they were in the process of Superman beating about to arrest them. So that's all.
It was kind of fun seeing like the downtrodden people be able to take pop shots on Superman. You know, it wasn't like it's kind of like shadowy figures of them doing it or whatever. It kind of zoomed in a little bit maybe, but most of it was them kind of shadowy, and they was like punching and popping them, and I'm like, I get that. That's kind of cute, whatever. But inside panels, I'm gonna go 3.25. They work. Wasn't nothing too bad wrong with them. Story, I'd say, is the weakest part. I didn't know it was attached to anything. I've seen the Sand Superman before. There's another cover with a kid like looking up at him, and the
Yes,
sand.
that's part of the storyline. That's actually when the Sand Superman. Okay, the Sand Superman makes makes his first appearance, so to speak, in this as a cameo. You don't see what it is. You just see a figure with sand around it. The one you're talking about is when you see him for the first time as an actual Superman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think out of the three, of course, the first one or the one that was the number
classic
one is
Adams, yeah.
the classic's the best, but the other one I like better than this one. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give it a 3 for story, and overall, I will go 3.5. And I'm going to make Alan suffer the most and pull my buddy D up for next.
Oh, okay.
Woo! All right. So, I struggled with this book, not because I didn't like it, but I had no context of what was before it. And the problem I had with that is there are a lot of Superman books from this era where it picks up in the middle of a fight, and then you kind of deal with the aftermath afterwards. And I thought that's what I was getting here. And just there was a lot of characters I had no idea who they were, what they were. I would actually be interested in, the one that you showed, that's the famous Neil Adams cover.
Mm-hmm.
The cover is so famous that like not everyone reads the book. So I would be interested in reading it and getting the whole story.
Okay. I off the top of my head, I can't tell you where, but I can put in the book club thing a link where you can read the entire story.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely read it all
Seven
because
issues.
it would help make this book make more sense. And I wasn't lost. Like they did enough explanation in the story to tell you what's happening, but
That's why
like-
I wanted to give you guys a bit of background before I got into it, so that there was
Yeah.
a little more.
you're just supposed to do what I did, man. You just you start with one issue, you wait 5 weeks at a time to get to the next issue, and then at the end of it, the last issue becomes the highest ranked book in the history of the fucking show. That's how you do it, man. I laid out the blueprint. You just got to follow it.
Yeah, you didn't have the patience. You didn't have the patience to do it.
Oh man, it was tough.
Afraid you guys wouldn't have the patience for it.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that, dude. That I think that would only work with a few storylines, and
And
that
honestly,
Superman is one.
honestly, the climax is the second best story of the bunch. The best story is the one I was referring to where he's got brain damage. That's the best part of the story. But that was the middle of the story, and I didn't want to choose that one because then I would have had to say, and then this happens, and this was
Yeah.
easier. You know,
Well, and they allude to it because, like, when he's getting his ass beat in the beginning, like he does say, like I don't even know why these dudes are trying to hurt me. This sucks. So, like, you can tell he doesn't know why he's there, what's going on.
Yeah, they mentioned the brain damage a few times.
Yeah. So the cover, I thought the cover was very cool. I'll go like a 3.5 on the cover. The interior art didn't upset me at all, except there was, and this is common with a lot of issues around this time. You can tell there's like a lot of color bleed on the pages, where they're coloring in panels and the color doesn't stay exactly where it should. That's not the fault of the penciler or the inker, but the color is just it's part of the interior art. So the art was cool, but I don't know, the colors kept bothering me throughout the issue. So I'm going to give it the interior art a 2.5. Matt, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt when I say this. I'm going to give the story, the writing, a 3, and that's based on the fact that I wanted to say a 1 because I didn't know what the hell was happening. But you're telling me that there's a deeper story to read. I'm going to go read it, and I'm just going to plan it with a 3 now, so that like I didn't just absolutely destroy it. So overall, I'm going to give this book a 3. And normally it would be my turn now to hand it off to Alan, but I'm going to throw a swerve, and we're going to go back to Biggie, and he's going to review it again.
Okay, so for me, one thing I always liked about DC is I feel like DC does a really good job of taking any individual issue that they have, like, even though this was the last of a 6-part series or whatever it was, they have a good tendency of basically filling you in, even if it was here and there slowly. There was a couple pieces that obviously I had questions about the transfer of power. Like, it seemed almost like contrived that it was switching back to Superman. That's why I felt like, oh, why is that happening?
That's the thing. If you had read every part, you would see it, because in the beginning,
and
the second one, like the first real appearance of him, that's when they notice that whenever they get close,
they transfer.
Whoever
around.
has the less seems to gain more power, and until they equalize.
Equilibrium. Yeah, that makes sense. So then the bum thing. I was the street people. That thing. I was like, why are they so mad at poor Superman? What did he do? So I thought that was interesting. Some of the context was missing. Obviously,
I will say too that sometimes people are just dicks.
No, I felt like that's why I thought they were. But I actually feel like there is that kind of element. So actually, when I saw that, I thought, man, this is kind of shows the problem with our society in a way, that there are people that will, when they feel like they can finally get the upper hand on somebody that they normally couldn't, that they will take advantage of that. And I felt like there was a bit of that. For me, I actually really enjoyed the story. I feel like even without the other parts, I think it was a cool story. I think it was a bit of a, it was rushed in order to achieve this, but there was a what if element. And the what if was, Superman, he fights himself, technically. What would that mean to the Earth?
Well, there was a little bit of rush.
That kind of thing. And
there was a little bit of rush to the finish, because this was technically the last issue Denny O'Neil was contracted for.
Yeah. Whereas contrast this to the Death of Superman arc, they spent a lot of time on one big fight. You know what I mean? But this one, had a little bit more story, actually. I feel like this actually had more story than the Death of Superman last issue. So, I think that this was actually better in that respect. I think it's interesting that Superman, when he's fighting, he has to be very aware that he can do crazy damage to the environment around him. The fact that he threw the core thinking that was a great idea shows a little bit of the brain damage. But there was real consequences to that. I think that was actually that part, which was really rushed, actually was kind of the part that I liked the most. I thought that was actually a really cool thing. And, and Superman gave up the fight in a way at the end of it, because he was like, oh my God, what did I do? And
that is what caught me as a child, why I felt.
Yeah.
Like as I said, I read them all, but this was actually the part I read first when I was a kid, because this was in a digest. And I was captivated by oh my God, they wrecked the world. I didn't think that it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was real the first time.
I thought, yeah, I mean, so, I was like, oh, what is he going to do? Is he going to spin the world backwards again? Or, what is he going to, how are they going to get out of this one? I thought that was all really cool. And to me, that was captivating. I thought that was really cool. I thought the other parts were good as well. I thought it was an interesting story. So for me, I thought it was a good read, and it was rememberable. I like that there was like a lot of things happening that you could tell that they were tying in like a whole bunch of loose ends from the previous parts. The rift, the creatures having to go back. There's like a lot of stuff that they had to tie up, but I think they did a good job of that. So for me, I'm going to give the cover a 4, because the cover basically is, the classic cool thing for, comic book nerds. It is like the hero fighting himself. It's like how many episodes of Star Trek have we seen with that very thing? This is like nerd thing, right? We love that kind of stuff. We love, heroes either battling each other or battling themselves, whatever. It's a cool thing. So that was cool. It's Neil Adams. Neil Adams is great. So for me, the cover's a 4. Interior art I thought was good too. Kirk Swan is awesome artist. So I'm giving that a 4. And then I'm giving the writing a 4. I think, it was solid throughout. Like all the key elements to this book were solid. So for me, the overall score is a 4. So it's 4s all the way through. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm on this book.
Cool. So
Do
58.
you want to read TM scores or should I?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I didn't even know.
Okay. TM couldn't make it tonight, so he sent his scores. He sent cover 3, art 4, story 3.5, overall 3.5.
I think I scored it the lowest.
I think D scored it the lowest, actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
But let's see here. So
1472.
72. All right. Well, let's take a. You guys in chat while I throw that on the list here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but to grade it against some of the books we've read before, it didn't hit as hard as some better books we've read that I gave higher scores to. So I kind of neutralized it to where I felt it fitted.
One thing that like messes with me, Matt, when you said that whoever has the most power, the person with the lesser power does the draining of it.
Yes.
I don't understand why Superman wasn't just sucking up power right at the beginning, because he was at that moment he was powerless.
At that time,
Proximity.
At that time, the guy was taking more power from Superman. So by the time they were done, remember, Superman had already lost half his power to the other guy, the Superman thing.
Yeah.
So this creature took half of a half, or 1/4 of his powers, leaving Superman with 1/4 of his powers, which makes him less vulnerable. You see, and Kryptonian cells work differently. I mean, like, he's got to take time to rebuild his powers. So, I mean, like, the creature left with so they're probably at the equilibrium when that happened. But I mean, he had the crap kicked out of him. He had enough vulnerability that they could operate, because that's what the first thing they said is, well, we were able to stick a needle in him so we can try to operate. That's what they say in the book right here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have tried to operate if they couldn't have stuck a needle in him. So,
well, but the demon, the paper mache demon thing, had 2/3 of his power.
But so, because the Sand Superman attacked him at the bank. So he got some of the power from the Sand Superman as well. And eventually, when the three of them were fighting, it was 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
Okay.
And that 1/3 was lost, by the way, when the creature went back. It's not.
Yeah, it gets
more clear.
Yeah.
So he lost that. So Superman now only has 1/3 of his original powers.
I thought it was 2/3.
No, there was 2/3 between the two. Again, when the Sand Superman left, he took the power with him.
No, I thought he lost the power when he went. I think he lost the power.
Let me check.
Like,
Let me.
yeah, I think he lost
no,
the
no,
power.
no. Yeah, he lost the power, but I Ching offered to give it to him. And
No,
he
no, no,
said,
no. I think he lost the sand creature dude lost the power when he returned.
Yes,
Superman
that's
got
what
it
I'm
back.
saying,
Good.
but it didn't go back. That's the key. That
Okay.
Superman is depowered. That was what they were
Mhm.
trying to do.
Yeah, I think Matt's right. He's only got a third because the other two
Really?
left. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
really empowered him.
They really depowered him because they wanted to depower him because there was no more kryptonite. Nothing could stop him, right?
Okay. Well, that was fun.
That's what it says. It says right here, perhaps I can transfer the powers you took from Superman. He says, I don't want it. So he took it
But I
with him.
thought that was referring to the sand dude.
Yes, but the sand dude took the power with him.
What about the other guy?
The other guy.
The other guy took his power with him. Superman is 1/3 as powerful as he used to be.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But the thing is, and you know, it made sense because they did explain it later. Like in another story, I lost my powers for a while. But the longer he's on Earth, the more solar energy he gets, the more powerful he becomes. So he just keeps building his power again. So
He should be green. He'd be like, has like chloroform or something like that.
he should be more yellow, I think. But
All right, you guys ready for my pick?
yes,
Check this out. And I wasn't persuaded to pick this. This is by my own research and by my own decisive decisions. But we're going Animal Man 5.
Oh, okay.
Animal Man Valley.
That's a very TM book.
It is. It's the first appearance of what's his name? Let me get it right. Crafty the Coyote, the Wiley the Coyote parody.
Okay.
Oh, really? Wow.
Cool.
That's interesting.
Bleeker, I see your comment. You can always challenge my knowledge because I'm not 100% right all the time.
Yeah, so it's an interesting book. I'm hoping none of you have read it.
I don't.
I've
think
never even seen that before. So
Oh,
I've
you
seen the
guys,
book
okay.
before. I think
Good.
I have it.
You probably do. It's one of the biggest keys from that series. It's about $30 book raw. And it can get up higher than that in high grade.
So
And it's
anyways,
because
the
of that
book,
Wile E. Coyote like
Mhm.
character. Really, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was the key. I just thought it was-
you guys are going. I'm gonna kick all y'all's ass. This book is gonna change everything for you.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be great.
this book finished in the top 20.
Okay.
It's 19th, and it's my third highest book. So
No, not too bad.
Action Comics 340 is my highest and probably will be forever.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying this because of the death of Superman. Like, I don't really take credit for picking that book because that is no, for real. I knew that would do well. It wasn't like I turned y'all on to something you never heard of before.
I didn't even realize Superman died. That's good.
Yeah, it was crazy. But do
I
you
just
rank
find
that?
it interesting that, the first book we ever did, Hunter Prey, was number 1 until Superman 75.
took it down. Good job.
Well, and we changed the rules of it right after the first one, where you had to do one single issue at a time. So I always thought that the Hunter Prey had an asterisk next to it. Like one individual issue, I don't think would have ranked as highly. But
Yeah.
Either way, like my question was, Alan, like you said, like your top ranked book. Do you have everyone's top ranks? Like who picked? Like what's Biggie's top ranked book? What's Alan's top?
I'll tell you right now,
Oh, yeah.
Biggie's number 3 because he picked FF52, and Alan picked Captain America 1. That was number 4.
Okay.
JLA Avengers number 1, I believe, is yours.
Yeah.
What was number 2? Oh, okay, never mind. It was
Hunter Prey is number 2.
That's right.
And that's kind of like both me and Biggie. Like we agreed upon that book to start
it's
the
kind of
first. Yeah.
So me and D are in the top 3, which is cool.
When you get done here,
Alan's at 4.
Identity Crisis, which is at
this is your last day.
at number just below at number 21 is TM's highest.
Oof.
Okay.
Gotta be nice.
That's brutal.
What the
Oh
fuck?
well.
Oh, wow, he said. That's fucked
But the
up.
thing is, there's a whole bunch of his books in that era. Like it goes, he has the Identity Crisis 1, then Strange Adventures 180, and then there's 2, and then he's got his Dark Horse Presents 51.
Well,
You know, like
I tell you what, if this book that I picked does well, he's got another good one coming. So it might change.
so. I mean, he's got a few like around that area. I have like 3 in the top 30, and then most of mine are at the bottom.
I think I got some high ones after my FF52, but I
Yeah,
think
you got some high ones there. U and D and some of Alan's. Alan's is more middling, like Frankenstein 1 and all that.
Yeah.
Cool.
hit or miss.
The JoJo and the
well, let's
that was all middling, but most of mine are at the bottom. So
go around the horn. So for me, Friday night Collector Club.
I'm gonna try to come this week.
Yeah, no pressure.
Oh,
man. If you ain't feeling
TMI, Alan, TMI.
2 weeks.
Yeah, for real. Just watch where you point.
you guys
Friday
are
night?
killing me.
Huh? Okay. Anyways,
I laugh, I cough. I'm trying not to laugh.
Oh,
if Doc shows up, maybe we'll battle. But if not, I don't know what we're doing. I'm thinking about doing the top 15. So here's my goal. I want to figure out who the 4th best collector in the community is, because the top 3 are Alan, Steppo, and Doc. So I might need y'all's help to figure that out. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think Matt might be up there this year.
No.
Maybe.
You picked up some big books, Matt.
Yes, but when I look at it overall, there's still people that picked up bigger.
Patel's pretty high up there.
Oh,
Patel
Patel
was
would be,
good.
yeah, Patel would be definitely. Yeah,
Patel has a collection better than mine. That's for
he
sure.
picked up some pretty awesome books in the
I
last.
like Robbie Joseph too, but what you got going
Robbie
on? there?
Joseph has a hell of a collection, and he's been
But no,
buying.
what did he pick up this year? He picked up he picked up a few books, but
He picked up a few books. He picked up some older actions. He picked up about 12 or 13 of Captain Marvels.
no, okay.
Yeah, we'll figure this out Friday. We'll
Yeah, it'll be
talk
fun.
about it.
Okay.
All you need to do really is take a look, because he's been buying again since we've inspired him to do so. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll hit him
I
up.
actually inspired Tan to get some Golden Age, by the way.
You inspired half the community to get Golden Age.
That's my whole
this
thing.
Sunday, okay, I'm going to be on Alan's on Friday, hopefully, and I'm going to definitely be on yours, Biggie, on Friday.
Thank you.
Sunday, I have Steven and Mark Mueller from Mark Archie's Comics coming on for the Superman show.
Nice.
And then next Tuesday, Stevie D is going to join me and show his art.
Cool.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sounds like a humdinger then.
And what do I have? I have a cool interview this weekend. Have you ever heard the movie Blade or Pitch Black or Kung Fu Panda?
Absolutely.
The guy that did the storyboards and a lot of the layouts of the battles, the fight scenes in that, he actually gave that all up. He did those movies, but then gave up that career in Hollywood to produce his own comics. And I basically interview him on the weekend. So
cool.
that's going to be on Saturday.
Oh,
Really
very
interesting guy. Jason Brubaker. Brubaker. Yeah, Brubaker. I was messing up the names here. And then also, I forgot what the Friday challenge is this week, but I'll remember at some point. And I think on Sunday I have a pretty cool list that will be released of the top 10 Golden Age comics of the week. So that should be fun. And yeah, I'm doing my Grail unboxing. It's the first 4 parts of this Grail unboxing are all mystery stuff. It's a lot of like it's stuff Matt would like. It's a lot of adventure.
Oh
comics,
yeah, I've seen a
action
lot of
comics,
those books. And
like
amazing.
annuals and stuff. It's a lot of that. It's really weird. But yeah, it was a mystery box. It was basically I bought a short box from Heritage Auctions that I didn't know what was inside. So it's a mystery thing, and I'm doing it in 4 parts. So that, and then it's going to be the Grails kind of after that. So I call it my Grail unboxing because there's like 7 Grail books in the unboxing. So that should be an interesting series. And that's basically it for now.
Oh, cool. And you could see D on mine and 84 and Papa Willie's channel. You got anything else going on, Big D?
That's about it.
Cool, cool. Always appreciate you coming, man. You're my longest ongoing NWO, most consistent motherfucker there is. So you keep doing your motherfucking thing, D. Appreciate you.
Rawr.
That's right. All right. Well, that was it, guys. That was Superman 242. None of us hated the book. We all liked it. It was pretty sweet. I think Matt had a really good introduction to comics, and I'm glad that you shared that with us, Matt. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Hashtag enjoy. See y'all later, man.
Biggie. Biggie.